10 Emmerdale spoilers for next week. Next week in Emmerdale, old emotions begin resurfacing between Dawn and Billy, raising questions over whether Joe will discover what's really going on. Elsewhere, 2 separate break-ins at Home Farm unfold for completely different motives, while Caleb is left frustrated after Cain refuses to support his latest venture. Here's a look at 10 major moments coming up. 1. Gabby collapses. Gabby becomes increasingly obsessed with healthy living, but her new lifestyle takes a worrying turn when she suddenly collapses in the kitchen. Dawn rushes to help and urges her to visit the village surgery to make sure nothing is seriously wrong. After checking her over, Manpreet notices Gabby's blood pressure is lower than expected and recommends taking a pregnancy test to rule out any concerns. 2. Dawn confides in Billy. The results reveal that Gabby is not pregnant with Billy's child. Dawn is relieved by the news, but her concern quickly returns when Gabby admits she is thinking about stopping her birth control as part of her healthier lifestyle. Believing Billy deserves to know, Dawn tells him about Gabby's plans. Gabby feels hurt that Dawn has shared something she trusted her with, while Joe starts wondering if Gabby's suspicions are true and whether Dawn still has feelings for Billy. 3. Billy finds himself tempted. Dawn discovers a detention notice hidden in Lucas's pocket, making it clear he has been in trouble at school without telling anyone. She discusses the issue with Billy, and spending time together while parenting Lucas reminds them both of happier times. Caught up in the moment, Billy attempts to kiss Dawn, but she pulls away just before Joe unexpectedly arrives. Dawn is left anxious, unsure of how much Joe witnessed. 4. Joe raises more suspicions. Joe organizes a family meal at the Hyde and invites Kim, Graham, Dawn, Billy and Gabby to attend. Graham becomes convinced that Joe has an ulterior motive, leaving everyone wondering whether he already knows about the growing closeness between Billy and Dawn. 5. Joe targets Caleb again. Joe is irritated after Caleb disrupts his latest effort to repair his relationship with Noah. Determined to confront him, Joe heads to the depot, leaving Caleb worried that his illegal counterfeit car parts operation could be exposed. Trying to avoid attracting attention, Caleb remains calm and friendly, but his behavior only makes Joe more suspicious. Joe soon instructs Graham to investigate further, and Graham secretly watches the depot while taking photographs. 6. Steve brings fresh danger. Steve, Kev's shady old acquaintance, spots what he believes is the perfect opportunity for a robbery and suggests targeting Home Farm. Kev immediately rejects the idea, insisting he wants to stay out of trouble now that the village is his home. As Kev focuses on organizing Lewis's birthday celebrations, Steve refuses to abandon the plan and continues preparing for the burglary, increasing the risk that Kev could become involved. Vinny becomes uneasy. Kev also faces difficulties elsewhere, as Vinny appears uncomfortable seeing him grow closer to Lewis. His obvious jealousy raises questions about whether bigger problems are on the horizon. 8. Serena and Steve cross paths. Serena receives disappointing news during a phone call when she learns the USB stick stolen from Home Farm contained nothing of value. Determined to try again, she sneaks back to Home Farm at the exact moment Steve is carrying out his own break-in. The pair unexpectedly encounter one another before being forced to hide when Ross suddenly walks in. 9. Cain turns Caleb down. As Caleb continues expanding his counterfeit car parts business, he asks Cain to introduce him to valuable contacts in the motor trade. Instead of helping, Cain refuses to get involved, leaving Caleb to realize he will have to continue his scheme without his brother's support. 10. Cain and Moira remain at odds. Cain and Kyle finally manage to repair their strained relationship after everything that has happened recently. However, although that situation improves, Moira is disappointed that the tension between herself and Cain still hasn't been resolved. Emmerdale has taken Noah Dingle's exit storyline in a new direction, leaving Charity caught completely off guard. With speculation continuing that Noah could soon leave the village, Tuesday's episode, 4th of August, brought an unexpected twist. Reports surfaced last month suggesting that Jack Downham would be leaving the ITV soap after playing Noah for 17 years, although the show has yet to officially confirm the departure. On screen, Noah had been quietly searching for work overseas and was considering starting a new life abroad. His plans gathered momentum over recent weeks as he kept his job hunt hidden from Charity. During Tuesday's episode, Noah revealed to his close friend, Jacob Sugden, that he had successfully secured a position in Düsseldorf. Although excited by the opportunity, Noah admitted he was anxious about breaking the news to his mum because of everything she had recently been through. Jacob encouraged him to be honest, insisting Charity would ultimately be delighted for him. Meanwhile, Charity was enjoying a light-hearted chat with Mac when Noah finally shared his announcement. While she was pleased to hear he had found a job, her happiness quickly turned to sadness after learning he intended to fly to Germany the very next day. Later, Charity struggled to hide her emotions while visiting the cafe where she opened up to Nicola. She confessed she felt guilty for secretly wishing Noah would stay, even though she was incredibly proud of him. Nicola reassured her that those feelings were perfectly understandable. Back at home, Charity became tearful as she helped pack Noah's belongings for his move. Noah apologized for keeping his plans from her and gently asked whether she wanted him to postpone his departure. Despite her heartbreak, Charity encouraged him to take the opportunity and follow his future. In a surprise change of heart, Noah decided he would remain in the village while Charity continued dealing with her recent difficulties. He insisted another opportunity would come along in time, and the pair shared an emotional embrace. Even so, Noah still appeared torn over his decision, leaving his future uncertain. Whether he eventually heads to Germany or remains in Yorkshire a little longer is still to be revealed. Emmerdale delivers an important update on Billy Fletcher in tonight's early streaming episode, as doctors reveal they are preparing to wake him from his medically induced coma. The big question now is whether Billy will remember the events leading up to his brutal attack, or identify the person responsible. Billy was discovered unconscious at the depot last week with a serious head injury before being rushed to hospital for emergency treatment. After learning that Billy had shared a kiss with Dawn Fletcher, many suspected Joe Tate had attacked him out of jealousy. Although Joe denied any involvement, detectives had no evidence strong enough to charge him and were forced to release him. Even so, many people in the village remain convinced he is hiding the truth. In tonight's episode, Joe and his fiancée Dawn discuss his recent arrest, with Dawn explaining that she had reassured the children it was simply a misunderstanding. However, after pressing for answers, Gabby Thomas is stunned when she discovers that Billy and Dawn kissed. Meanwhile, conversations at the Woolpack focus on Billy's attack, with Carrie Pollard continuing to insist that Joe is the culprit. Because of Joe's troubled past, many of the villagers agree with her and hope he is eventually brought to justice. When Joe and Dawn walk into the pub, they receive a frosty reception from those gathered inside. Kerry openly confronts Joe, reminding everyone of his long list of past crimes, before questioning Dawn for standing by someone she believes attacked the father of her children. She warns Dawn that Joe has already caused immense harm in the past, describing him as dangerous and urging her to leave him before it is too late, both for her own sake and for the children's future. Later, Dawn visits Billy in hospital alongside Gabby. During the visit, she insists that the kiss they shared does not mean she wants to reunite with Billy, and makes it clear she is still planning to marry Joe. Their conversation is interrupted when a doctor arrives with an important update on Billy's condition. Back at home, Dawn tells Joe that the medical team intends to bring Billy out of his coma the following day. She points out that if everything goes well, Billy could finally reveal exactly what happened before he was attacked. Hearing this news leaves Joe visibly uneasy, suggesting he fears what Billy might remember. Emmerdale is broadcast on ITV1 every weeknight at 8 p.m, with each episode available to stream from 7 a.m. on ITVX and YouTube.